Hi, I'm TJ Campbell. I'm the Tire Information and Testing Manager at the Tire Rack, and this is TJ Talking, where we have the opportunity to talk to industry experts about tires. Today, we're fortunate to have Brandon Sturgis from BFGoodrich Tires with us. Brandon, thanks for being here. Why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Hey TJ, thanks for having me. I'm Brandon Sturgis and I'm the Global Product Manager for BFGoodrich for our recreation and off-road tires.
Excellent. So, recreation and off-road, that's exactly the category that we're talking about today. We have a new on and off-road all-terrain tire. It is called the TrailTerrain TA. And even though it's an all-terrain tire, it's important to point out right from the beginning, this is not a replacement for the all-terrain TA KO2. It is a complementary product. It fits right alongside it. So we'll just start off with that. Brandon, why don't you tell us a little bit about the way those two tires fit in the same lineup?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. And it's something that was really important to us to make sure that when we launched this new product that people understood the distinction between TrailTerrain and KO2. People come to the KO2 when they're really looking for the toughest all-terrain tire that they can get, when you're looking for traction and really, I would say, more significant off-road type of usage. TrailTerrain on the other side, though, is really what we consider an on-road all-terrain. It's more on-road focus, where folks are maybe looking at the KO2 and saying, that's a bit too much for me. I don't need that much off-road capability. That's really where the TrailTerrain really fits for that consumer.
We've had the discussion several times. The just broad all-terrain category is so all-encompassing. If you had to put, a percentage of, on-road versus off-road, would you say KO2 is 50-50 and TrailTerrain is 80-20, or what would your numbers be?
I guess a good percentage split, right, we would say it's a 50-50 tire, right? It's a 50% off-road use, 50% on-road use. That's how we really designed it. In the end, I think a lot of customers still end up using KO2 a good percentage of the time on-road, right? And that's why it does give you that off-road capability when you need to venture a little bit further off the beaten path. So that's, if we had to put a number on it, I guess I would say 50-50, but I'll give you the engineering answer to it. It depends.
Then what about TrailTerrain TA? What kind of mix would you give that tire?
We say that one is more of a 20 to 25% off-road use. And off-road can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, right? It could just be, I need to drive through this grass parking lot. Or it could be, I'm going for a hike and I need to finish, the last couple miles on a gravel road. Or you're going to a ski resort and you need to finish the last 5 miles up the mountain in the snow. Some people consider all those activities kind of off-road. And that's really what we designed TrailTerrain for, is those kind of off-road activities.
Was chip and tear resistance a big focus of the design?
Oh, absolutely. We specifically took into account gravel chip tears, what we call it really internally, because we know that people who will buy TrailTerrains are going to take this tire down gravel roads. We actually promoted it, right? We want to let people know that this tire is okay for that kind of usage.
What other kind of focuses, not just off-road, what is the focus of the new tire?
We put a heavy focus on our mileage warranty. So the tire has a 60,000 mile warranty. We stand by that. We tested and developed the tire around that warranty. We feel that is first and foremost the number one priority for the tire line, was meeting that wear warranty. Secondly, it's around three-peak mountain snowflake and snow performance. So a lot of people buy four-wheel drive pickup trucks or all-wheel drive CUVs and SUVs so that they can get around in the snow. Tires that are good in the snow are really important to a lot of folks around the US. Three-peak mountain snowflake was a must-have for this tire line for us to launch.
We haven't tested it on the snow yet. We drove it on the ice actually just last week. Relative to its competitive set, it did a very good job. Do you think that we'll find the same thing when it comes time for snow testing?
I mean, we've already done our own internal competitive testing in the snow, and I'm confident in the results that you'll see.
I'm happy to hear that. When you designed this tire, were you thinking pickup trucks or were you thinking unibody, crossover, SUV, that sort of thing?
We were actually thinking both. Back when we started this project over 3 years ago, we started to see this trend, the popularity of KO2 on those CUVs was just absolutely astonishing, right? But what we did is we love to be engaged and we love to talk to our consumers. And what they told us is kind of what I was talking about earlier when talking about that distinction between an on-road all-terrain and an off-road all-terrain, in that KO2 in many cases was a bit too much for them. We took that into account when designing TrailTerrain for those CUVs and SUVs alongside of pickup trucks. It's just amazing the data that's available today about vehicles. And what our research and development team did with the launch of TrailTerrain is we know for each size how many of what type of vehicle is sold for that particular size. The nitty-gritty data for each and every one of those vehicles by size, and we can really design the size around the type of vehicle that takes it.
Oh, that's excellent. Yes, yeah, what you have a size, what type of vehicle is this most likely to be used on, and then develop accordingly.
And it's very detailed, right? So for a particular size, we know how many of vehicle type X and how many of vehicle type Y and how many of vehicle type Z. You can't design the tire just for one vehicle. You have to design it for all the vehicles that take that size. But typically, for example, a 225 65 17, that's going to be found on a CUV. And so we know all of the CUVs that take that size, and we can design that particular size for TrailTerrain around the vehicles that use that size. And when we collaborated on this design approach, it was really, really cool to kind of see it come together and be used to launch TrailTerrain.
That's all that I have for you. So thank you so much for your time, Brandon, for coming to talk about TrailTerrain TA, which is not the replacement for All-Terrain TA KO2. It is a complementary product. They will soldier on together. Thank you much. Appreciate your time and all of your knowledge.
Thanks, TJ. Thanks for having me.